Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Art of Business English podcast. Podcast where we help people like you get the language skills you need for doing business in English. Now, this week we will review some multi-word verbs which will help you enrich your business vocabulary and your understanding of native speakers. These multi-word verbs are quite common in English. They're generally used in more informal context. And it's important for you to learn them since their meaning differs from the main verb depending on the particles it takes. So the particles, the extra bits, the multiple bits that we add to the verb. This list of 20, they all start with the letter C. Okay, so let's dive in and see what we've got for you today. So the first one on my list is to call something off. And that basically means to decide to stop an activity. So for example, tomorrow's meeting has been called off because the director is ill. So they're sick, so we're going to call off that meeting. Now, another one is to call on someone to do something. Now, if you call on someone to do something, it's like a formal way to ask someone to do something. For example, you could say, we call on all citizens to vaccinate themselves against COVID-19. So the government would do that. To catch on is another one. That means to become popular. For example, why did the electric gadget catch on so fast? Okay, another one on my list is to catch up or to catch up with something. And that means to reach the same level of quality as someone or something. For example, will Western industry ever catch up with Japanese innovations? So the next one is to cater for someone or something. And this is to provide what is wanted or needed by a particular group of people. Now, an example would be the port has a depth of 15 meters, enabling it to cater for the newest generation of container vessels. The next one is very similar, but it's to cater to someone or something. Okay, so to cater to is to give people exactly what they want, often something unusual or something that people think is wrong. For example, these software packages can be customized to cater to the specific needs of an organization. To check up on something. So you can see lots of multi-verbs here. To check up on something. This means to try to discover how something is progressing or whether there is something that we should be doing. So like, basically, if you check up on someone, for example, your kids, or in business context, you could say, can you check up on Barry and see if he has finished the cost analysis? Another one that's very informal is to check something out. And this means to examine something or get more information about it in order to be certain that it is true or safe or suitable, to go to a place in order to see what it's like. So things like this, it's like, having a look, checking something out, you're making sure everything's okay. For example, you could say, I want to check out the quality of the product before buying it. Okay, another one is to clean someone or something off. Okay, this is to make a person or a place clean and tidy. For example, you could say, clean off surfaces that are frequently touched, such as telephones and computer keyboards. Lots of people touching those. It's going to clean off all the bacteria. To clear something away is also used commonly in English, to clear something away. And that's to make a place tidy by removing things from it or putting them where they should be. Example would be, he cleared papers away from a couple of chairs and we sat down. So there were papers on those chairs, clear them away so that we can sit down. Okay, another one, to close something off, something that's stopping people from going. So it's like to place a barrier at the entrance of a place in order to stop people entering. For example, you could say, the roads into the docks were closed off by Iron Gate. Next one on my list is to come across. And that is quite commonly used. It's to seem to be a particular type of person or thing. It has several meanings, to be honest. I mean, to come across something is to like, oh look, to find something randomly. But to come across is also to like transmit this idea of your personality. For example, she doesn't come across well in interviews, but she's very good at her job. So this means that what she transmits isn't very like competent, but actually she's great. This one is to come off, and to come off basically means several things, but in this example it means to happen successfully. We use this a lot in business. For example, you could say the performance on the first night came off pretty well. So if something comes off well, it means, it was probably the first time you did it and it went well. Okay, another one multi-word verb with the letter C, and that's to come on. So this basically means to start to happen or work. So to start to happen or work. So let me give you an example of that one. When the power goes off, the emergency generator comes on automatically. So the next one is to come around. And that basically means to become conscious again after an accident or medical operation. So an example, the police are waiting for him to come around so they can question him about the attack. To come under something. Now, this is to be in a particular part of a book or a list. So these matters come under the heading of classified information. Another one is to come up. If a job opportunity comes up, it becomes available. Or some other opportunity. For example, investing opportunities come up from time to time, so you need to be ready to take them. Another one is to come up against, and this is basically to deal with a problem or difficult situation. We may find we come up against quite a lot of opposition from local people. This can often happen when you're trying to change something with a local community. You're going to come up against opposition. You're going to face problems. Another one, and this is not good either, to cover something up, and this is to put something over something else in order to protect it or hide it. So often if we cover something up, it means we're trying to hide it. So Kate has made some big mistakes and she won't be able to cover them up for long. So you can cover it up like literally with something, or you can cover it up like metaphorically, meaning you try and hide the evidence. All right, to cut something out. This is basically to remove something or form a shape by cutting, usually like with your scissors. Or you can stop eating or drinking something, so you cut something out, meaning you remove it from your diet. So for example, Billy showed me the article he'd cut out of the magazine. So Billy had literally got scissors and cut the article out. So there it is, my list of 20 multi-word verbs that begin with the letter C that I'm sure you will find useful for incorporating into your everyday English. And of course, if you are interested in improving your everyday English, then make sure you grab a copy of my ebook, 500 Business English Collocations for Everyday Use. It's super good value because it is incredibly cheap, and it also offers you all of the pronunciation in MP3 format for free. So as always, my friends, if you did like this episode, share it with your friends and colleagues. Head over to iTunes and give me a 5-star review. Really appreciate it. It's how we can reach more people here at the Art of Business English. We don't actively promote this podcast. It's all shared through word of mouth. So the more you guys, my audience, share it with your friends and colleagues at work, the bigger my audience grows, and I appreciate that a lot. You can also send me a voicemail through my SpeakPipe channel, or just drop me a comment over at the blog or any one of my social media channels. That's it for me, people. I'll see you all next week, and we're coming up to the 4-year anniversary of the podcast. So we'll be releasing some interesting information, tell you what's coming up in the future. Okay, stay tuned. Take care. Bye for now.